is Manny Cash. As you can see here in my hat, I work with Home Buying Home Selling Solution out of San Antonio, Texas. We are a real estate investment company. We've been working already with Daniel and Adam from Smart Contact already for a few years already. It's been great. It's been fantastic. Closed one in March from a lead I got in December. You see, there you go. I like that. I like to when I read this and I see that, I love that because that shows me commitment. That shows me that who is that? Ayo Foya. It's being committed to his success and committed to this business, and that's what I also that I want to talk about. That see, guys, this business, yeah, follow ups and everything, but you have to be committed. Like follow up is not just okay, well, I'll call you later. No, you really have to call. You have to make that extra phone call. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and make this very interactive. I wish I could talk to you guys, like just talk, but ask you questions, write them down, and then based on that, then I start going on the topic. Because right now, look, I don't have a script. I just like to go on the flow and bring as much value as I can to you guys. So let's start off with help me out, Daniel. What should we want to start off with?
Let's see here. Let's talk about the being efficient and having a process when it comes to following up, right? Because the
Sure.
biggest thing is like it's easy to generate leads, right? Especially
Right.
most people here, we're using texting, using smarter contact, getting leads popping here and there. But obviously the biggest, I guess bottleneck is having that consistent flow of follow up, that weekly, flow process system, how much to follow up, and then when to kind of put somebody, I guess, back into an automation. Like how much do you want to do manually before you put them back in an automation? And then I guess from there go into rapport building, right? It's one
Sure.
thing getting a lead, but getting on the phone and actually trying to close them or get them to set an appointment, that's a whole other ballgame.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So rule of thumb is this. So whenever you guys are prospecting, whether it's an SMS, call calling, whatever strategy that you guys are using for marketing, rule number one is whenever a homeowner tells me, hey, call me back in a month, call me back in 2 months, I always want to call them half of the time what the homeowner is asking. So if homeowner is asking in a month, I'm calling back in 2 weeks, in 15 days. Why do I do that? Well, for a lot of reasons. One, they're human beings and they forget, they forget that they talk to you. They forget that they probably other people call them, and they're in the day-to-day basic life, whatever they got going on. So I call in half of the time on whatever time they tell me. Now, if I know, the thing is that we need to identify, is this going to be a long-term follow-up, or is this going to be a short-term follow-up? What do I mean by this is if it's a long-term follow-up, like my man right here just closed a deal that he got in December 2019, he probably knew that that seller at that moment was not ready to move forward with the process, or maybe the seller was not ready, but something within the title, something within the property, something that the seller needed to accomplish was not set in stone for them to move forward at that time. So it's you're identifying if this is a long-term follow-up or a short-term follow-up. If it's a long-term follow-up, I like to follow up at least once or twice a week. If it's a long-term follow-up, for me, a long-term follow-up, it's somebody that says, hey, look, I kind of want to sell, but I'm just looking for a property and I'm looking maybe like in November, October. Okay, that's already 3 months in ahead. That's already 3 months from now, 90 days. So what I do in those type of leads, I follow up with them in the different strategies, which I'm gonna give you so much sauce right now. I'm gonna tell you, look, I follow up with them by calls, by text, and by mails. Nobody's doing this. I know that for a fact. And I'm not talking off my ass. This is proof, facts right here. I follow up with them by mail. What do I do is I send in a thank you card. For example, if it's a 3-4 month follow-up, I call and, hey, Mr. Hernandez, how are you doing? We talk about the property here and so and so. And then sometimes I just send in a text, hey, I hope everything is well with you. Or sometimes I take the time and write a thank you letter, handwriting, and say, hey, Mr. Hernandez, we talk about this property, so and so. This is Manny again from Home Buying Home Selling. I want to make sure that you keep me in your mind when it comes to selling the property. So when I do that, now I'm being different. I'm being different than anybody else that is calling or texting them on the follow-up. Now, another thing is be creative, right? If it's a deal, if it's a lead that you know that for sure is going to happen, I'll encourage, it's just invest $5, $10 on a Starbucks card. Can you close the door, bro, please? Thank you. I do this when I know they're like, man, like I know I'm gonna get this deal and they're gonna be good deals. I just send it like a $10 Starbucks card. And here you go, right? Hey, thank you for taking the time speaking with me. This is Manny again with home buying, home selling. Call me back whenever you guys are ready. Guys, that will put you in a different position from anybody else in the country that is trying to buy that property. Trust me. Those little details people pay attention to, okay? She needed to find a new trailer, house, and country. Took a year to find. See, there you go. Exactly. So it proved my point. See, at that time, his seller, she wanted to sell, but it's just that, she needed to find a new trailer for her house, in the country. So sometimes those little obstacles come into place and it delays the process, but you always have to be on top of your lead. So whenever that's done, then you're the first one there. And I'm going to talk about mine, the one that I did. It took me 14 months. It's almost the same scenario. This was a older gentleman. Unfortunately, his wife left him or whatever, right? He was by himself and he was ready. He wanted to go to a orderly homes, right? And I didn't know this. I learned this in the process that you need to qualify. You need to apply for that. I thought you would just go and hey, look, I need a room here, and you just go in there. No, at least here in Texas or in San Antonio, they have to qualify and they have to apply for it. So whenever he put the application, they told him, okay, we'll give you a call back, dude. And a month goes by, 2 months goes by, 6 months go by, and nothing. And I'm like, hey, are you calling them? Yeah, I'm calling them, but they haven't approved me or anything. They haven't given me any rooms yet. So this whole time I'm following up with this individual, with this homeowner by phone, by text. And since he was here on my local county, on my local city, every other Saturday, like probably once a month on a Saturday, I will go door knock. I will literally go myself in person, and you can actually look it up on my IG. It's proof. You are gonna see me go ahead and door knock in his door and everything. And I will door knock, right, and follow up with him in person. Hey, how are you doing? This is Manny. I remember we talked about the property about 6 months. Oh yeah, what's going on, right? So you gotta be creative and do a little bit extra than anybody else is doing when it comes to follow up. Now, if it's a long-term follow, if it's a short-term follow-up, like for example, somebody that says, hey, look, I want to sell, but I need to talk to my wife, my husband, or I need to talk to my siblings because my mom and my dad probably just passed away, and now the house got passed down to us, but we want to sell. Okay, great. So that's somebody that's really motivated and hot, but they're not ready like right now because they still need to consult and talk to other people. What I do is I go ahead and follow up every other day. Yes, as annoying as it sounds, but I follow up every other day. If today's say Wednesday, Thursday, and I follow up today, I will, and if they didn't answer the phone, I will follow up with them on Saturday again. Hopefully on Saturday, I get on the phone with them and I put a little bit of more pressure. When I mean by this is, hey, look, Mr. Seller, the reason why I'm calling is because our finance department just sold all the properties that we have in inventory, and we have some capitals available to buy more properties. And I would like this fund to go to yours. Simple as that. Our finance department just sold a few properties, and now we have some capital, and I would like that capital to go to yours. And I just keep planting that seed on them that, hey, we got the money, we're ready. We got the money, we're ready. We got the money, we're ready, right? That's when it comes to a short-term follow-up. Another thing is that whenever I look at my Podio and I see all my follow-ups, first thing that I do is I call them. First thing, ring, 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 right? If they don't answer the phone, then what I do is I leave a voicemail right after. I wait about a minute or so, I call back. If they don't answer that call back, I leave a text. Hey, Mr. Smith, how are you doing? I'm calling about the property here. I'm contacting you again about the property here. This is Manny. I just want to let you know that, our companies buy properties as it, and then I start telling my services again on text. I don't send offers. I don't tell him the offer on text because that can work against you. So don't do it. I did it back in the days and rookie mistake, and then it just didn't work out well. So now I'm on their phone multiple times. I'm on their phone on a missed call. I'm on their phone on a on a voicemail, and I'm on their phone on a text. So guess what? Whenever they're thinking and ready to sell the property, guess what they're gonna think of? They're gonna think of me. Oh man, yeah, missed call, voicemail, and text. This guy really wants the property, right? So it really comes down to how bad you want it. Like, believe it or not, I know it sounds cliche, but how bad do you really want this? How bad do you want the homeowner to think in you and believe you that you are the one that's going to buy the property? Because you remember, most of these people that we're dealing with, they probably have sold maybe one or two properties in their lifetime. Sometimes they haven't even sold a property before. And so they're a little skeptical on who they're going to sell the property to. And so that's where you have to come out so professional and so like calm and like, you know what you're doing. And like, this is what you do for a living. So they feel like, okay, yeah, he knows what he's doing, right? That's just a little of my 2 cents when it comes to the follow-up in my experience. Now, when it comes to, what was that next one, Daniel? If you're still there. Let me see.
Yeah,
Guys,
still here.
what was it?
Yeah, it was, I guess, and then I guess the follow-up to that is when it comes to following up, right? How much is manual? And then at what point do you kind of throw maybe somebody back in the automation who's just not answering?
Sure. So, okay, good one. I guess that for me, the right answer, at least for me, which is what I do, if I know that that a lead became a dead lead, that it's just like for some reason they're just not playing ball, or they just for some reason got called, I put it on a automated follow-up sequence. And then the automated follow-up sequence, what it does is it sends a voicemail and it sends a text every other, probably twice a month, on the 15th and on the 1st, automated. But I know, because those are people that are not really like kind of ready now, like they're just not, for some reason, they're not giving me any kind of good feedback when I'm following up on person. But I stick to the follow-up in persons, I mean, manual, like on the phone, to the ones that are still answering my phones, answering my texts, and kind of getting some good feedback on it. But I separate it. I say, okay, so if I got 10 leads, out of the 10 leads, 5 are kind of like, you know what, they kind of became cold already, and that's just not really interested anymore. Those I put on a follow-up sequence, which I know that they may not even turn out to be leads, but I still keep them, because you never know, 2-3 years down the road. Remember, this is a long-term game, guys. 2-3 years down the road, like I'm still getting deals from, like, 2019, 2020. People that have same text, people that have same voicemail, like in the long, like past, right? We're talking already like 24 months ago. Why? Because, oh yeah, I remember your text. They got my text, they got my voicemail, they got my phone number, they got something from me that they still remember me. Okay. Like for example, we locked up a deal in Dallas, badass deal, huge deal, great deal. Look at how it happened. We got the first lead, we got it in September last year, September 2020, and we just closed the last month. And the way we locked it up was like this. So from September to December, we were just following up like crazy, because we knew it was a deal. We were just following up like crazy from September to December. That's 3 months of follow-ups like crazy, right? January this year, we were like, oh man, that's it. She's not gonna move forward. Like, she's just not gonna do anything. But guess what happened? Since January this year, all the way until June, we never made contact with her, like in person. Like, we never called her. It was just an automated follow-up sequence that we had, that it was just going out like every once a month or twice a month. Guess what she did? In June, the first week of June, she called us. She said, hey, I'm ready to go. Let's sign it. Sign it, locked it up, sold it, closed, everybody happy. So that is another proof that it actually showed me, like, man, you can't really just give up on this lead like that, because just because they don't convert today doesn't mean they're not gonna convert tomorrow. I call in future money. That's what I call it future money. That's my ATM for the future. Like, I know my pipeline, I'm gonna put 15, 20, $30,000 in November, in December, in January, like, and it just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. And that's why being consistent on your business and consistent in this, it's key. Because if you're not consistent in this, guys, really it's just not gonna work. Like I said, we have to be here in the long term, not a short term. It's really rare. I know it has happened. It's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people, but it's really rare when you just call one lead, close that lead right there in the, like, it's just not right. For example, today I was doing live call, like live call, And they were like, oh yeah, we want to sell, and go ahead and watch it. You will see. You want to sell it? Call me next month. Call me next week. Call me this, right? So, and the call, the convert, I could not just be like, okay, well, let me look it up right now, because I know the process. I know how it works. It just doesn't work that way. Now I told him what I do. I told him who I am. Now they're on my follow-up process. And then I start doing my thing, which is following up, building rapport with them. Now I'm going to call him back. Like, for example, one of them, the lady, she doesn't want to sell now because she's going on vacation next week. Fair enough, right? Guess what? When I call her in 15 days, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to her based on her vacation. Like, hey, how did your vacation go, right? So now we're getting into building rapport. Now I'm not talking about the property, but now it became somebody normal like her, somebody personal, like, hey, how was your vacation? And that for me, I think that plays a big part when it comes to the follow-up process in this business. Any question, guys? Any questions?
Yeah, if anybody has questions, hit them in the chat or in the Q&A. We definitely love to get those answered for you. I guess, could you walk us through one thing I'm kind of curious about myself is like, what's kind of your weekly workflow like? Are you are you kind of consistently, is it kind of like a day-to-day routine? Does it kind of switch up? Because obviously in real estate, it gets hectic sometimes.
It gets hectic. It used to be more of a it used to be I get here at 8:30 in the morning. From 8:30 at 10:30 I do this. From 10:30 I do this, and so it was like it was a very time block for a while. I want to say for like a whole year it was all very time block. But I realized, Daniel, that I was getting into the routine and I hated it. Like, I just hated it. I didn't like to feel like I was like, man, on a routine, like really like the rat race. So I switched it up. So now my weekly, day-to-day, and real estate entrepreneur looks like it just, I come, I do my tasks. Of course, I have to do my tasks, my follow-up for sure in the morning. Always do your follow-ups in the morning, guys. It just starts the day easier. It starts the day like you kind of just get it away with. Although if I do it in the morning, the people that don't answer to me in the morning, I call in the afternoon. I call in the evening, like literally right after we're done here, around 6. Today around 6, I'm gonna start calling those people that didn't answer in the morning. But right now, Daniel, is more of, for me, it's just because eventually they just think just is happening. It's just literally just things just happen to me right now, like just coming and deals come from all over. Like, I got people all over the country sending me deals. So I'm more of a right now of like an autopilot. Like, I'm just going, and this is what's happening, I attack. This is what's happening, and I attack, and I eat, and I kill, and I'm going. Yeah. But of course, I always have a task and a mission on what I'm looking to accomplish at the end of the day and at the end of the week, if that makes sense. Like I was talking on my IG about setting goals, right? It's important that we have quarterly goals. I know some people like to do daily, weekly, yearly, every 6 months. I like to divide my year and my goals in 3 months, in 90 days. The reason why I do that is because it's easier for me to track. Excuse me. It's my boy. It's my boy. Okay, so look, this is my boy right here, Osama. This is a true example and a true living experience on what I'm talking about. He took my closest program course. He's been doing exactly what he learned on the program, and today he got a potential 40K assignment contract today. And you can reach out to him. It's legit. Like, he just texted me, bro, I got it locked up. So to answer the question is to answer what I was saying is, I like to stay within the 3 months period. In 3 months, I get to divide it by months, and I get to see where my energy and my time is flowing based on my results that I'm accomplishing on those 90 days, if that makes sense, Daniel.
It does, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, guys, any questions? Just help me out on contract. There you go. See, yeah, he just got a badass deal today. So when it comes to this, guys, let's say we have another topic here: psychology behind building rapport. Okay, psychology behind building rapport. We have to understand that we're talking to other, individual. We all are human being, like you, like me, like anybody else here on this call. So I don't really like to come off too professional. Like, it's weird because I've noticed a lot of people like to come out too blue collar and too professional, but people don't like to talk to people like that. People like to talk to somebody that is just relatable and that, hey man, you make mistakes, I make mistakes, like it's normal. So what I'm trying to say is, guys, whenever you are talking to people, whether it's a call, SMS, or following up or making an offer, understand that you're talking to somebody that is just literally like you. The only difference is that they are going on a tough situation on their life where they may need to sell the property for XYZ reasons. They need the money, they're behind on payments, they're going for foreclosures, they need the money to, their son is going to college, whatever reason it is, but understand that you always have to become the problem solver. And that's how entrepreneurs make money. Entrepreneurs make money by solving problems. Look at Smarter Contact. Smarter Contact is solving the problem that we had a long time ago. I wish I would have got a Smarter Contact when I started, because I didn't have it, right? But they're solving the problem of what? Of how you and I, everybody here, 17 people on this live call, how we can send an SMS campaign on a button like that fast and reach out the masses. That is solving problems. Same thing here for us. If a homeowner is losing the property for whatever reason, is how can you solve that problem to them and put some money on their pocket? That's, for me, that is psychology when it comes behind building rapport and understand that you're talking to another human being like you that have feelings, that have emotions, that going through problems, that has a mom and dad, and a sister, a brother, whatever. And they need somebody to help them, and you have to be that person. Now, we got here advanced closing techniques. Advanced close. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Shout out to Smart Contact. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions on what we're talking about right now?
We got one question from Francisco
ahead.
Patino. He's like, obviously my interest is SMS. What would be the 3 to 4 strategies to you, I guess, strategies to build rapport via text? It's a good question because, like, obviously on the phone, it's easy to portray your message talking, but then with text, yeah, you're limited to characters. Conversations are probably a little bit more abrupt, short, but then could be a long conversation carried over a period of, who knows, period of time. It could definitely be a mix of things.
Yes. Who was that? Francisco?
Yeah.
Francisco. Yes, brother. So this is strategies. Yeah. So SMS was built, and correct me if I'm wrong, Daniel, in my opinion, this is my opinion. SMS was built to do the first touch. Hey, I'm here. Hey, I want to buy the property. Hey, this is my services. It wasn't really built to build connections and build rapport and build like that human aspect, because you can't really express yourself on text. And whenever you're expressing yourself on text, sometimes even myself, imagine myself, like I'm not even from here, right? Like when I'm texting, I'm like, and I'm thinking something, but when I text it, when I type it, it just comes out different. It sounds different. So my best advice, Francisco, will be whenever you send a text SMS campaign and you get somebody interested and you pre-qualify them, just get on the phone, brother. Just get on the phone right after, and then put your own character to it, put your own sauce to it on the phone. That way they can hear you, and they can at least, okay, well, this is an actual human person. It's not a robot that is just texting me off my phone, right? And now you get to build that personal human rapport by then hearing you and by you talking. That's what we preach in our company whenever we do the SMS campaigns. And if somebody says, yes, they want to sell, we're not going to build too much rapport on text. What we're going to do is pre-qualify them, and then get on the phones and then start, for sure, keep qualifying it and then close over the phone and build rapport and then so on and so on. I hope that makes sense, Francisco. Should you start off cold calling, then use SMS? That's a good question. I mean, it all depends on your preferences. I'm going to be honest, Sherman. There are people that they really don't like cold calling. They just hate cold calling. And hey, I don't blame them, because it's not easy. And some people say, you know what, man, I just want to text. Hey, it's all on preferences. If you feel like you feel like you're gonna be better at doing SMS, go ahead and do so. But remember, even though you do SMS first, you still eventually have to get on the phone with that homeowner. So that is really something that I tell everybody. Just because you just want to do SMS Don't forget about the closing skills. Don't forget about the call calling skills. Don't forget about the talking communication skills that you need to have in order for you to be successful at this business. Because this is where a lot of people get it confused. They say, okay, well, I got the SMS platform ready. I got the list ready. Okay, I got the Podio CRM ready. I got the title company. I got the cash buyer. They got everything lined up. Perfect. That's good. But they forget about one thing, in my opinion, which is the most important in this business. It's your closing skills, your communication skills. And that's what I tell people. Never forget about your communication skills and your closing skills, because that's, at the end of the day, that's how you're going to make your money. Let's just keep it real, right? Because yes, you can get contracts just on SMS without talk. We've done it. But most likely, eventually, you're going to have to get on the phone with them to at least ask them a question. So don't forget about your communication skills, Sherman. Hope that answered your question. So either or, you can start calling or you can start SMS. But remember, at the end of the day, you're still going to have to learn how to have a conversation over the phone. That makes sense, guys?
I got a couple questions for
Sure.
you on it, because there could depends. You could get lucky, right? Where it's just you're able to call them and just have a phone conversation and close them. Could be the same with text, but then there's that transition from text to call, from basically calling and following up right then and there. I guess what is your, I know a lot of salespeople, they call it lead to speed, from getting a lead to picking up the phone. From the beginning, when you get a lead, let's say it's from a VA, because I know you have a big team, and there's some people out there who might hire a VA, or it's a two-man team, right? Okay. How would you go about with strategies or efficiency on lead to speed from when it comes to getting a lead, a hot lead from texting, and then trying to pick up that phone? How many times is too many times of maybe pounding the phone to get them to answer, to go back to texting? Or let's say you're using a VA who has a lead and then is transferring it over to you. What would be a good, smooth, efficient transfer process of, well, let me get my partner on the phone, or let me get my colleague on the phone, or sending an appointment for a call with like your partner or colleague, while still making it a smooth transition of them not being scared away?
Awesome. Great topic. Great questions, Daniel. So what I want to do is this. I want to do like a quick quiz here with the audience. I want everybody to type in, if you guys are here watching, type in, what time frame do you guys think it's the ideal time frame to call a lead back as soon as you get a lead on SMS or for a VA? I want somebody to type it in, and then based on the 4 minutes. Okay, who else? 4 minutes. What else? What do we have? Come on, guys. We got 20 people here. As soon as possible. Okay. As soon as possible. ASAP. Okay. All right. So, and there's, I don't think there's within 10 minutes. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, within 10 minutes, fair enough. So yeah, you want to call in my opinion, and that's what we do here. We call in between a window. So let's just say we send an SMS campaign for our VAs, our sending campaigns, and then whenever that lead gets transferred to us, the closers, and it's like, hey, they want to sell. What we do is, before we get on the phone with them, at least I want to know how many square footage is it, how many bedrooms and bathroom, what side of town, and what Zillow says. Like, I want to know that from the beginning, from the get-go. I'll be late, I gotta work. I know it's not hot lead. Yeah, exactly. So once I get that lead, I put it on Zillow, and on Zillow I look up how many bedrooms and bathroom, how many square footage, what's the price that Zillow has it at. And once I gather that information, I look at the notes. Based on the notes that the VA had, I look, okay, well, I want to sell because of this and that. So I'm calling back within the next 5 to 10 minutes. The next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm calling that lead back on the phone. Now, if I call back and for some reason they don't answer, then that's fine. I call back again, and then hopefully they answer. But if they don't, I leave a voicemail, and I go something like this. Hey, Daniel, I'm calling back here on the property of Bandera Road. You spoke one of my associates over text, and I literally mentioned over text, so they remember about the property here. You spoke with them over text, and I'm one of the head of acquisition partner. You can say acquisition partner, purchasing partner, whatever, right? And I'm calling back here to just get on the phone with you, get a little more information, and potentially make you an offer. So that right there potentially make you an offer kind of leaves them, well, man, this guy's gonna really make me an offer. Now I leave that on a voicemail. If for some reason 10 minutes, 20 minutes goes by and nothing, then I go back on SMS. Then I jump back on the platform and I just say, hey, I try to reach out to you, my senior partner Manny or my business partner Manny trying to reach out to you, and he wants to, he won't potentially make you a cash offer. So I guess try a little harder to get on the phone, but if you don't get it on the phone, then just jump back on SMS and telling, hey, my finance department is really interested, although they really would like to talk to you over the phone. Boom, like that. Believe it or not, I was this close to be scammed one day, but because of that, like I was like, hey man, let's get on the phone, and he didn't want to. He just didn't want to. But then I'm like, man, something's really sketchy here. And when I looked it up or whatever, I'm like, man, he's not even the owner. And so that's why I'm very cautious when it comes to getting on the phone with them, because I want to make sure I'm secure, they're secure, the house is secure, everybody's on the same page. So call him back as soon as possible, 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure when you call him back though, don't call him back blind. Don't call him back knowing nothing. No, you want to know what's going on. You want to know what your VA talked to. You want to know what the note says, right? Okay, they want to sell one more time. They want to sell because of this. They want XYZ the amount of price for the property. And then based on that, you call back and you spark a conversation based on those notes. And then you add your own sauce to it on the conversation, if that makes sense. Did I answer your question, Daniel?
It did. It was very good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Perfect. And yeah, well, just to sign up here, guys, man, time flies. Just to sign up here, guys, we have to understand that when it comes to having a good quality conversation with sellers, right? One of the key things here that I found out also as well is that, yeah, we can talk to people, we can talk to people every day, but it's really how good that conversation was, right? Was that conversation, I literally grade my conversation from 1 to 10, I grade them like, okay, I got a lead. So from 1 to 10, how good the conversation was, how knowledgeable I was in that conversation, how good of a listener I was in that. You got to grade yourself. That's what I do. And that's how I think I got good at it, because I was really obsessed when it comes to grading myself like a sport. This is a sport to me. And so whenever you're talking to people, make sure you always have a good quality conversation. And I found out that most of the deals that I get and I close, it's because I have good conversation with them, not just about business, not just about how much they want, but more on the personal level, right? Where I'm from, where they're from, what they're looking to accomplish, right? Now I'm touching more of a personal life. And then based on that, because I know a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people, they're just trying to stick to business. Well, how much do you want? Okay, good. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to my finance department. Yeah, hey, look, they can do it. Perfect. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's very transactional. That's very robotic. I like to put more of the human aspect on it. And I think that's been a winning ticket for me. And I would like for you guys to keep that in mind, that whenever you're talking to somebody, have that good conversation with them, guys. Yes, so that's it. What else?
I got a couple of curious questions for you as well. So here's a good question. And I know a lot of people come across this. And you come across this when it comes to cold calling, especially texting as well too. And let's say you reach out to somebody or you just call somebody and they're just right away, they're just like, what's your offer? What's your offer? How do you deal with people like that? Because obviously they might not really be that interested, but I know there's probably a lot of wholesalers, especially new people out there, that you kind of get that high hopes right away of, oh, wow, what's the offer? So they might be interested, even though it might be the complete opposite. Yeah. And then let's say you have team members who are doing cold calling for you or texting for you. How would somebody in this group go about training them or nurturing them in a way of so that you're not wasting time?
Sure. Man, I love when the homeowners come to me like this. I used to get scared. I'm not gonna lie. I used to when I first started calling, I used to get scared when they were like, well, what's your offer? I'm like, oh shit, I don't even have an offer, right? But man, it's fine. I mean, what I do, this is what I do, and this is what I find out. So whenever they come to me to, oh, what's your offer? Hey, Mr. Seller, you know what? That's actually what I'm calling you for, to make you an offer. But before I get there, let me ask you this. Have you done any work to the kitchen or restaurant in the last 5 years? So what I do there, Daniel, I do the sales psychology of acknowledgement, and now we need information. So I acknowledge the fact that, yes, you want an offer, and I'm calling you because I want to make you an offer. But before I make you the best offer, I need to know the condition of the property. And this is a line that I always use and I always work. And I say, and then when they just say after that, they give me more pushback. Well, no, well, you tell me, what's your offer? Look, Mr. Seller, it's like buying a car. Will you buy a car without test driving it? No, right? Same thing here. I'm buying a house. I want to know at least the condition of the property. Have you done any work to the kitchen or restaurant in the last 5 years? When I say that, bro, 9 or 8 out of 10, they will be like, well, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't buy a car without test driving. Exactly. So you want me to buy a house without knowing the condition? How does that make sense? So I pushed them back. Like I literally put him back on them. I was like, I get it. Look, I'm going to make you an offer. But before I get there, have you done any work to the kitchen or restaurant in the last 5 years? That's what I do. That's how I deal with them. Now, what I found out is that those people, they say that for a lot of reasons. One, they probably get a lot of calls. They just get a lot of calls. They just get a lot of calls from a lot of people. They just get a lot of SMS from a lot of people. And they're just tired. They're just tired of, people just wasting their time, which I get it. But if they say that, it actually, it also showed me that they kind of have some interest. They do have some interest. It's just that nobody has been able to kind of like break it down and then have a good conversation. Like goes back to conversation, have a good conversation and explaining to them how the process works and why they need to be at XYZ amount of price. That's just one group of the people. The other group of the people is that they're just tire kickers, man. They're just tire kickers. They're not really looking to sell. They just want some. They're just looking for that person to say 500,000, $1 million. I'll give you $1 million for your house. Okay, I'll take it, thinking they're gonna win the lottery like that, and that's never gonna happen. So, there's 3 categories. 1, the ones that are already tired of people calling them. 2, the ones that are like kind of like, well, I kind of want to sell, but I really don't know the process. It's just what you offer. And then 3, the one that's just like, man, I don't even want to sell, but I'm looking for that person that give me $1 million. Then, hey, I'm not your guy, bro. I literally just, hey, I'm not your guy. I'm just not your guy, straight up. And I just keep moving on to the next lead. So I always say this, guys, don't waste time on people that are not closable. Meaning, don't waste time on people that you feel, because this, you feel whenever you're like putting too much pressure on it, whenever you're like forcing it. If you feel like you're forcing it, forget about it. Like, no. I did that again on my beginning of my career because I needed money and I needed contracts and whatever. But I found out, like very short in my career, I found out that those people are usually the you don't want to deal with those, because when now you force them to do something, you got it on the contract, and then they end up canceling on you or ghosting you, and then it just don't work. So what I focus on is I focus on the people that aren't looking to sell, and people that at least say, hey, make me an offer. I'm interested. Come see the house. How does it work? Tell me about your company. Well, yeah, I mean, I may be interested. What you got? Those are the people that I like to focus and put my time into it, because in this business is all about time, energy, time management, energy management. You got to look at it this way, right? You start the day with your energy right here. You start with the day with your energy right here, like a battery. I look at myself as a battery right here. I'm here always at the beginning of the day. Let's be honest, I'm a human being. We all get tired. So I got to manage my battery to last me at least 8 to 10 hours a day. So if the first quarter of the day, I'm already wasting my whole time and energy right here, guess what's going to happen to the rest of the day? I'm going to be weak. So no, what I do is I manage this to the fact where maybe the middle of the day, okay, I already put a good amount of time and energy on leads. Now the other good amount of time and energy, the rest of the day, I'm going to focus on people that my follow-ups, people that told me yes in the past, people that told me yes yesterday, my pipeline. Now I'm going to focus my time on those people. That makes sense.
It makes great sense. So Osama asked, how do you deal with sellers with high asking prices? And I'm going to add a little bit to that because you kind of just touched base on that. How would you deal with sellers who you did your homework? Yeah. Let's just say the home is distressed. They need help. There's multiple motivation factors in there, but yet they're still kind of being stubborn with a high asking price.
Yeah. So if I'm dealing with somebody that's just like way asking price and it just doesn't make sense, at the end of the day, I want to be educational, I want to be knowledgeable, and I want them to know that I know what I'm doing. And so what I do is I do two things depending. So it also depends on who we're talking to. If we're talking to somebody that's just being an asshole and just like, man, I want 500,000, that's it, and period. And if no, don't call me again. And or if not, if you're not gonna do that, then forget about me. Then if we're talking to somebody like that, hey man, just let him go. Just let him go, forget about him. And it's not worth it. Now, if we're talking to somebody, well, yeah, I kind of wanted 250. Huh, okay, I'm kind of curious. How do you get that number? Well, I don't know. I mean, I saw it on Zillow and that's what Zillow has it for. Okay, great. Well, do you know how Zillow works? And then now I start getting into more education and educate them on why 250 wouldn't work as an investor, but it may work as a traditional listing lead. And so what I go is, let me say, look, it sounds to be like you're looking for market value. I'm an investor. Our company is an investment company. We don't buy properties, that are pretty much a market value. If you want, we can list it for you. But in this case, it's a cash offer. And we need to be around this price, about 180, because the property, you told me the property is in your roof, foundation, AC. So we're looking into consideration the rehab that the property may need. Now, if you don't, I get it, it's your property. You do whatever you want with it and you put the price that you want to it. But I'm gonna be honest, if you put it on the market at 250, with a realtor, I know it may not pass inspection. It may take a long time to be on the market. Now, with me, I'm willing to buy it as is right now, and don't even have to worry about the paint, foundation, roof, anything, for 180. So I pretty much, like I said earlier, I don't force them. I don't force deals. If they want too much, hey man, I get it. You want too much, good luck. Hopefully one day gives you that. Know me, I'm not your guy. Simple as that, bro. Simple as that.
Nice. Max has a question. Would you give them a number after you ask about the condition, or what do you transition into?
Yes, of course. Once I get let me see, will you give them a number after you ask about the condition, or what do you, okay, well, you know what? You want me to do the whole breaking down here, huh? So by the way, guys, if you want more, like literally, I'm gonna plug in, right? This is plugged in time right now. So I had done Daniel, I don't know if you knew this, but I did a 48 video program. It's called the Closest Program, which is where my man Osama is at. It's 48 videos that I broke down this to the T, over 7 hours of content. I go from cold calling to acquisition, VAs, how to hire VAs, how to hire acquisition. It's all laid out for you guys on a whole program. You get my support as well. Like my man got my phone number, and today he reached out to me. We got that contract locked up. But to answer the question is, I always start with the intro. Once I get the intro going, I go with the condition. I go to the condition of the property, and then I transition to that motivation on why they're looking to sell the property. Once I get the why they're looking to sell the property, I go with timeline. I need to know when they're looking to sell it. Now I know the condition. Now I know why they're looking to sell it. Now I need to know when. When is this going to happen? Is it going to happen today, or is it going to happen tomorrow, next month, next year? When? So once I get the timeline, then I move on into, of course, the price. Price, most important. And like I always say, remember this, everybody that is watching this, remember this: condition, motivation, and timeline will make a good lead, but the price will make a good deal. We say that one more time. You can have all the condition. The property may be, beat up, new roof, foundation, whatever. Okay, check mark. Condition is work. Motivation, yeah, homeowner wants to sell because they're behind 20,000 in taxes. They don't live in San Antonio. The property is in vacant. Good, you got the motivation. Check mark. Timeline, they may say, you know what, Manny, I want to get this done today. Perfect. Now you know that's a motivated seller, but you're going to find out if it's a motivated seller based on the price. And that's what from the timeline, then I move on into the price. So those are kind of like my 4 categories when it comes to my 4 phases when it comes to qualifying leads, either over the phone or in text, because we also do this whenever we're text blasting and they reply back with, yes, I want to sell. Then we literally go, okay, what's the condition? Okay, great. Well, I mean, kind of curious. Why would you consider selling it? Oh, and they tell it, well, I want to sell because of this. Okay, great. How much are you looking to get? Well, we want 100,000. Ching, ching, ring. Send it to this. Send it to acquisition. Acquisition calls back, and start a conversation based on that quick rapport that the SMS platform got on with that homeowner, if that makes sense. Did I answer your question, Max? So that's kind of like how the transition goes to. Yes, thank you. Okay, perfect, awesome. And by the way, like I said, go ahead and check out the closest program, man. And then for those of you guys that are really interested, because you are from the Smarter Contact family, I'm gonna hook you up. I'm really gonna hook you up on this one. Just feel free to reach out to me on my IG at MannyCash HBHS, MannyCash HBHS, and I'll give you guys a $100 discount on it. Mark my word. But only for today. For those of you guys are 19 people here. For those of you guys that are looking to get that program, $100 off on the closest program.
That's awesome. Definitely. What are some other ways to be able to get some content from you or check you out or learn a little bit more?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel, Manny Cash, definitely encourage everybody today to go watch it. Today I did a live calling. Like I said earlier, go ahead and my YouTube channel, Manny Cash, and Facebook, Manny Cash as well, with home buying, home selling, and my IG. I'm mainly active on my IG, Manny Cash. And guys, I'm an open book. As you can see, this is what you get right now is what you see is what you get. You can reach out to me, send me a text, send me a DM. And if you got any deals in Texas or anywhere in Texas or anywhere in the United States, feel free to reach out to us. We home buying, home selling, we are buying properties. And then we also have buyers all over the state that we can JV with, and we can push your deals to. So that's the best way that you guys can collaborate with me, and we both can grow together. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anybody else have any other questions? Usually we have a talkative bunch, but everybody's been a little bit quiet, I think, this time.
They've been quiet, huh? There you go, Matthew. I posted my IG there. It's Manny Cash HBHS. So feel free to reach out. Only for today. Only make sure you say you were on the Smarter Contact webinar, and I'll give you guys $100 off on the program. So if you guys don't have any other question, I mean, this, guys, I want you to keep in mind that, like I said earlier, it's not, yeah, it's not sexy, right? Like, oh man, I'm calling or I'm texting, I get it. But you have to do it for your why, right? Why are you doing it? Like, are you doing this because you just kind of want to do it, or because you really want to be successful and get to a certain level in your life? That's what I do it for. Like, my family is my why, and that's what I do it for. And so I don't care if some people over the phone curse me out or tell me whatever they tell me, because I know where I'm going. And that, to me, it plays a big part the fundamentals when it comes to being successful in any aspect, in any business that you're looking to accomplish. So keep in mind that for as discouraging it can get, for as stressful it can get, the paydays are really good, and you can really make a lot of money and help a lot of people and take yourself and your family to a next level. So.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, cool. Thank you so much, everybody, to, I guess, join in today. Hope you got some good value out of it. I know I got some good nuggets out of it. Manny dropped some really good stuff in there. So I hope you're taking notes. Yeah, so Matthew, obviously, if you can't see it, just go to Instagram and type in Manny Cash. I know I follow him, and he's got some great stuff on YouTube as well. And of course, you can, if they still can't find you, go to Home Buying, Home Selling Solutions. They're everywhere, all over Facebook, all over YouTube, all over Google. So Manny, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to drop some knowledge on us, man. Really appreciate you. And you've been a fan favorite because you drop so much stuff on us. It's great every single time.
No, thank you guys. I love the Smarter Contact family, guys. I want to see everybody succeed. And any question you guys may have, or any deals, any lead, please feel free to reach out, and I'll be more than happy to help. Thank you, Daniel, one more time.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Manny. And we'll catch everybody on the next webinar that we have in a couple weeks. See ya.